Test. Hello, Jessica. I'm here in the room, so let me know if you need any help with individual assignment too.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Mason, I'm here in the room. So if you need any help with assignment 2, let me know, please.
Oh, okay, cool. Um, yeah, I have a couple questions.
Okay, sure.
So I started to like clean up the Excel document, and
Okay.
I figured out how to in the column that has the realtor group, and then WKRMLS, whatever that is. I haven't looked into it. I was trying to extract the middle section, and as far as like using the middle function in Excel, I couldn't figure out how to make it work because of the varying lengths of the names of the realtor and stuff like that.
Okay, let me find what is the column number? Do you remember? Because I don't see any realtor.
I do not remember because I got rid of all the ones with the URLs that had the pictures and stuff.
Okay, I think I see
So
it right here.
the first entry is like Tiffany Carlson.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. Okay, well, let me try doing it let me just analyze it briefly to see what's available here. Well, look, what I clearly see, right? It's separated by commas, right? So this
Right,
is good for you because you will use this comma as a delineating character to separating those strings. So
right.
let me show you something. I'll share my screen. Do you see my Excel sheet?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just create a column quickly here. And then when it comes to extracting agent name, right, I'll just use left function to grab everything that comes before comma. Okay,
Right,
so left within this text,
right,
and the number of characters is find the first occurrence of comma
right.
within the
Yeah.
same line.
Yeah, I've got that one. I've got the to extract the name of the realtor. I didn't know how to do
Okay,
the
and then it will be -1, not to grab the comma
right.
itself, right?
Yeah.
So let me check. Okay, now let me just think for a second. I see like a kind of brute force solution. Maybe there is a more elegant one. So one thing you can do now, you can use len function, len, to measure length, right, of this name plus comma, and you can extract the remaining string, right?
Okay.
Once you extract the remaining string, you will use the same kind of left function to get the name on the left and the name on the right. Okay. So for example, something like this. So now you will grab from the right, from
Yeah.
this string, and the number of characters will be the length of this string. Uh, so it will be the length of the entire string right here minus the length of this extracted left side +1, I think. Okay, so we did some miscalculations. What did we do? Should be. Yeah, I guess there are some empty characters that I don't see or something like that. So let me check. We'll put here my. Okay, so you see, I just like I guessed, right? There are probably some empty characters that I'm not counting or something like
Yeah.
that. So I
Yeah.
just
Cause
put -2. So let me see
yes.
if it
Now if you
works.
just change the W column back to because we're missing the last letter of the name of the agent.
Yeah, so now it's extracting well that second part, right? So
Right.
now from this string, again, using left function, you will grab the left part, and then using right function, you'll grab the right part.
Okay.
Okay. So that would be like a brute force solution. Maybe there's a more elegant solution. For example, find function may have an option where you find the second occurrence of the comma, not the first one. But I didn't see it there. Oh, for example, look, I see I think there's a more complicated but more elegant solution. So what you can do, you see it has this optional argument start number, right?
Right. Yeah.
So I guess it will tell you from which number you want to start. So start with the first, so put like a nested find function here. So find the first occurrence of comma and then add one.
Right.
So it will not, it should ignore the first occurrence and it will find the second occurrence. So that will be maybe a bit easier.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right. Yeah, and also I think you were saying that there is also mid function, right? So it returns characters from the middle of a text string, giving a starting position and length. So you can try to use that function as well. Friends, if you have just joined us, we don't have any formal agenda for today's class. So what's happening is that I'm hanging here in the room. So if you need any help with assignment 2, just let me know. I'll share my screen or I'll give you a host right so you can share your screen with me and we'll try to figure it out. So I'll be here until around 3:30 or so.
Okay, I have another question.
Yes, sure.
So with the column regarding location, I guess we need to separate, like if it has multiple, such as the first entry has Massac and then Paducah, Kentucky. I guess we would need to separate those for um, be considered tidy data. Um, and so that's just another one. I'm like, I tried to do it with the left function and then find comma, and then that just doesn't work because there's also entrances where there's no comma and stuff like that.
Okay. Is Massac a town or is it just neighborhood in Paducah? What is it?
Massac is a county in Illinois, which is like across
Oh,
the river.
okay.
And
So
then there's
part of
also
Paducah.
like it's part of. I mean, I guess it's considered part of the area, but it's not like Paducah. But then there's also some of the entries are like Hendron, which is part of Paducah, Lone Oak, which is part of Paducah.
So is Paducah both in Kentucky and Illinois?
Now Paducah's just in Kentucky.
Okay. Yeah, let me think about it for a second, like whether it's duplicated somewhere. Just one second. Yeah, I'm trying to write the formula. Just one second. I'll testing one idea.
Fine, no rush. Um, I have another question too. Whenever we get this one figured out, about there's one data set that is missing a realtor and realtor group, and I didn't know if that meant we needed to throw out the whole data set or just exclude that information from the.
Uh, There are many approaches to this. Some people argue that no data should be deleted, right? Because if you're
Right,
deleting something, then you're distorting the real world data.
right,
Others, people like me, I delete missing data, records with missing data. So you can do either one, but no matter what you do, make sure, like the rule is just make it clear that you're doing it. Like for example, in your assignment write-up, you can
right,
say that I deleted rows with missing data. So in that case, somebody cannot accuse you of distorting the data and hiding it, right? You're saying, look, I'm not
right,
hiding it.
right.
I deleted everything. So that's the approach that I use. I delete missing data, but I clearly state that that's what I did to the data.
All right, cool. Fair enough.
Hey, Mason, are you there?
Yeah.
It's again using the same functions, left, right, find. Maybe there's a different way to do it, but that's what I did. So we have those complex locations, right?
Right.
So where it's either Paducah, meaning the city, or I guess what they're trying to say, it's not in Paducah, but it's in Paducah area, but the place is called Massac, whatever that is. It's a
Yeah.
county or city in Illinois. So this is what I did. I wrote function, grab from the left of string T2. So that's where I'm grabbing data from, and how many characters. Find the first occurrence of comma in T1 -1. So it's to exclude the comma itself, right?
Okay.
So what's going to happen if it's a complex address like that, it will find the occurrence of the first comma here, right? And it
Right.
will extract Massac from it. If it's simply Paducah, it will just say Paducah, right?
Okay.
So and the
Yeah.
variable can be called something like in Paducah or something like that. So Massac means not in Paducah. Paducah means in Paducah, right? So
Okay. So you just want us to do it like that, just to like instead of having an entry like two columns, one that says Massac and one that says Paducah, just do it as if it's not Paducah, do it as like Reedland or Massac, like the most specific one, basically.
yeah, yeah, actually you're right, because I think that would be a violation of one of the tidy data principles, because it looks like you're melting two columns together, right?
Right.
So yeah, if you can separate it where like one variable says main Paducah or something like that, and then you have something like 0, 1, and then the other variable says like location outside of Paducah, something like that. So yeah, that would be better.
To do two columns rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
okay.
But now we're getting into nuances, like they're too granular. They're not even discussed in that paper by Headley Wickham. But yeah, you're right. It will be. I think it will be better to separate it into two columns.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
All right.
Sorry, I'm having so many questions. I
No,
just
those are good questions.
I
Actually, I
find this
haven't.
stuff like really interesting.
Yeah,
So
I haven't thought about some of those questions myself, like about you know separating Paducah versus non-Paducah and things like that.
So what I ended up doing was in one column I made it like a general location, and I made like where all the entries general location would be Paducah, Kentucky, because they
Okay, let
technically
me
came from the.
let me give you host privileges so you can show me
Oh,
on the screen because it's hard to
okay, cool.
understand without having.
Yeah, yeah, I can see where that would be hard to grasp.
Yeah, I made you a co-host, so you should be able to show your screen.
All right, cool. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
All right, so what I ended up doing was taking just since all entries were considered Paducah from the web scraping, I just made an entry for I guess everyone to be considered Paducah and named it general location, and then made a more specific, and I guess just because these came up as from the in column H, they came
Yeah.
from the left uh, formula. Just have these as a more specific, and I guess it kind of doesn't make sense to have a second one saying Paducah, but I don't want to like have to go through and extract the ones that say Paducah and just put null. But you
Yeah, I
have any
mean, yeah, you're getting there. I feel like there is a better way to do it because it's a bit confusing to have
right?
Paducah mentioned twice. Like what I'm thinking right now, maybe like you can you record this variable using if statements. Do you know how to use
Okay,
ifs?
yeah, I think so.
And then you will say like if this column says Paducah, I'm talking about specific location column, right?
Right.
Then replace it with yes,
Okay.
right? Something like that. So and then you will have a column called uh, uh, Paducah city limits or something like that. So yes or true means within city limits, right? The second column would be uh, something like location outside Paducah, and then you will just copy that name, something like that.
Okay.
Well, anyways, it's not a big improvement, so you can leave it like that. I mean, it's a bit confusing, but
Right. Yeah. Right. Thanks.
or maybe it makes sense. You're saying specific location, so it's specifically in Paducah versus specifically in that mess site. Yeah, maybe it makes sense actually.
Dr. Krotov.
Yes.
So I was able to access Office 365, but I don't see access on it.
Oh, it's not there?
Unless unless I didn't do something right, but I mean I have Word, Excel, PowerPoint, all of the others, but I don't see access.
Okay, let me check what I have on my side. Just 1 second.
All right.
Hey, Harrison, you're right. It's not a part of 365. It's either they removed it or I was wrong in the first place. I suggest the following. I sent everybody a link in the chat. It says something RacerNet, Murray State EDU. No, sorry, it's not that one. Just 1 second. Let me find the correct one. It's Racer Desk, Murray State EDU. Can you go to that link, please? Can you follow that link? It will ask you to sign in with your Murray State credentials, and then it will open something called VMware Horizon. Do you see it? Hello, can you hear me?
Sorry, I was muted. I didn't realize. I'm there now.
So you see it says something VMware Horizon, right?
Yes.
So enter your general network login that you use in the lab or at MSU.
Do I need to install it first?
Okay, let me show you something. Just 1 second. So when I click on that link, it opens something like this. Is that what you see?
No, sir. I see. Let me pull it back up. It has the VMware Horizon page, but it has install or HTML access.
Select the HTML access. Let me make you a co-host so you can show me what's happening on your screen. Can you please show me what's happening on the screen?
All right. I think that's. It took me to sign into my Murray State when I clicked on HTML access.
Okay, then enter your username and password just like you would in the lab. And then click on Student Lab. So you can use, so basically you're logging into our labs, right? So you can use the Microsoft Access installation through your browser, okay?
Okay, all right.
If that's too difficult for you, if you cannot figure out, then just don't do it. But I think, that's, you can send yourself a file, like for example, you can, I'm not sure about file access because students have a different file access, but you can launch Google Chrome, you can go to your inbox, you can open that Excel file, right? And then you can launch Access and work with it, something like that.
Okay, this looks good.
Yeah, actually, I forgot about it. When you asked me about going to the lab, I should have mentioned that there is this virtual access to the lab if you didn't use it before.
Well, thank you.
All right. Hey, I've shared my screen with you. I just want to show you, this is what Mason asked in the very beginning. So I did it on my own. Maybe he did it in a different and more elegant way. But if you're still struggling what to do when it comes to extracting substrings from strings, I'm going to show you once again with this string example. So here we have a string that has 3 parts. It has real estate agent's name. Number 2, it's the name of that real estate agency. And this WKRMLS, I'm not sure what exactly it means. I know what MLS is. MLS is that membership of real estate agents where they provide all of their listings, right? So it looks like from the data set that everybody is a member of that MLS, Kentucky MLS listings, right? So I guess the variable should be called something like a member of WKRMLS or not, right? So maybe we'll call it like something like membership, okay? So this is the membership for that real estate agency company, and this is agency name, okay? So 3 parts that we need to extract. So here, I'm using left function, okay? So basically I'm saying grab a substring from the left, that's what left function is about. Within the string x2, we're talking about this entire string, and how many characters? Well, to determine the number of characters, I find the position of the first comma right here, -1 because we don't want to grab the comma itself, right? So it's find the position of the comma within x2 and then subtract 1 because we don't want to grab the comma itself. So that's left, right? Yeah, so that's the left grab. Now to grab this value, WKRMLS, I'm using the right function, which does pretty much the same, but it's a bit more complicated because the position, the number of characters requires some computation. So you're grabbing characters from the right from the string x2, which is the same string. That's what the first argument means. And then you need to figure out how many characters are you going to grab. Well, this is how I'm calculating how many characters we need to grab. I take the total length of x2, okay? From that, I subtract the occurrence of the second comma using find function, okay? So I'm saying find the occurrence of comma within x2, but not from the beginning of the string, by starting with length of this word, which is agency name. So it will skip the first portion of the string +3. So basically I'm saying go here and then 1, 2, 3, starting with this position, right? So it will find the position of that second comma, and by subtracting the position of that second comma from the entire length, you'll get the length of this field, okay? So that's the right function. And then we have mid function. So now we're gonna grab the string from the middle. So for the mid function, we're saying we're grabbing the middle portion of x2. The starting number is length of y2, which is the name, plus 2, because we're gonna start grabbing after the comma and space, right? So that's the starting position. How many characters? Again, the number of characters that we want to grab from the middle is the length of the entire string minus the length of this word, and then minus the length of this word. So that gives us calculation of how many strings we have in the middle. Minus 2, I cannot explain it on the fly, but I basically figure out that I miscalculated some empty spaces or something like that. So with minus 2, it works. Sometimes I don't put much thought into it. I just like, I mean, I understand that something is being miscalculated, so I just remove those extra characters manually, but by just subtracting a number kind of randomly, 2 or 3, because I know it's about empty spaces and about commas. So that thing grabs the name from the middle. So this is the agency name. So this is how we break down that string into 3. Overall, my suggestion is always do it like, one step at a time, because it's possible to write like a big function and actually try doing that grabs things from the middle, but you'll get lost because you'll make a mistake somewhere and it's hard to see where you make it. So that's why I'm doing one operation at a time, this string, and then this string. So it's much easier in terms of troubleshooting than trying to write like a big function that finds the position of the first comma, second comma, and then grabs the middle. Because again, if you make a mistake here, you will understand where the mistake is. So you'll work with this function, then you'll work with this one, and then the overall function will work as well. But if you're writing one big operation, then it becomes harder to spot errors. So if you want, I'll try. I'll make a screenshot, and I will send to you that screenshot in chat. So if you're still not sure how to enter that formula, so you can try entering it, but you will replace obviously the names of columns with appropriate column letter and number.
I was wondering, do you think we should keep the links like it has several links in the data set? Should we keep all those, or would it be, or do you think we could delete most of them?
Well, the rule is if it's not redundant, like for example, if Paducah is repeated 2 times, then you can delete one occurrence, right? But if those links are not duplicates, then keep those links just in case.
Okay, I just kept seeing, I saw a bunch of links and I didn't know if those were necessary or not. But,
Well, the rule is try to keep as much data as you can.
oh, okay.
You can always like ignore it or delete it if you don't need it in your analysis, but for this tab, just keep everything that you can keep. That is not a duplicate.
So my next question about that is because um, what would you need to do is like as the header for the description of those links if they're not necessarily useful for analysis?
Okay, well, I'm looking at those links. So I see the first link, it's called something like text base 8 link, right? It's the link to that listing, right? So I would definitely keep that. And I would say like listing URL, right? And the second link, it's basically, I think it's the entry point, URL input. Oh, it's page, okay? So basically it says that this specific link is available from that page link. So I guess the first name would be like listing URL, and the second column would be something like listings page. Okay?
Okay, thanks.
It doesn't bother you, so why not just keep it there?
Right.
So with the 3 strings that you showed us, like how to move the first, middle, and last one to different columns, do we delete the column with all 3 in it?
Yeah, I guess so, because it will be duplication. You don't need it there. So once you split that variable, you don't need it, right? Pragmatically speaking. And if you do keep it, it's a violation of one of the tidy data principles, because this column stores information about 3 variables.
All right, thank you. I was just making sure.
Okay, and I'm sending you screenshots of those formulas in case you didn't see it from the screen, so you can open it up and you will see how it's entered. So formula 1, it's that first column formula, and then I'll send you formula 2 and 3. So yeah, you should be able to see it in the chat. There are 2 screenshots of those formulas that I just showed you. Harrison, were you able to save to launch Access and work with it, or you haven't tried yet?
I haven't tried yet. I'm just, doing
But you launched it from there, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.